What made me drop my scissors when I saw the scar behind my customer's ear? I'd been cutting hair for 12 years and never once lost my grip on my shears until that moment. The guy in my chair was just another Thursday afternoon walk-in who needed a trim before some work presentation tomorrow. He'd been scrolling through his phone while I worked, occasionally grunting responses to my small talk about the weather and the Cowboys game. Standard stuff. Then I lifted the hair behind his left ear to clean up the edges and saw it, that jagged 2-inch scar that looked like a lightning bolt if you squinted. My brother Miles had one exactly like it from when he crashed his bike into our neighbor's fence and caught a broken bottle. He was 6 and I was 8, and I held his hand in the emergency room while they stitched him up. 2 years later, my parents told me Miles had drowned at summer camp. Closed casket funeral. My parents barely spoke for months. The scissors clattered onto my station counter and the guy jumped. Sorry about that, I said, retrieving them while my hands shook. Fingers cramped up. He went back to his phone but seemed more alert now, watching me in the mirror. I went back to cutting, but my eyes kept returning to that scar. Plenty of people had scars. Miles was dead. He'd been dead for 20 years. I forced myself to focus on the haircut, just finish the cut and get him out of the chair. But then he shifted and hummed something under his breath. It was the jingle from an old carpet commercial that only played on local channels when we were kids. Miles used to sing it constantly until our mom banned it at dinner. My hand froze mid-cut, but I made myself keep going. Coincidence. Had to be. Then he scratched behind his right ear with his pinky finger, exactly the way Miles used to when he was thinking. I watched him do it 3 more times while I worked on his fade. My chest felt tight. You from around here? I asked, trying to sound casual. The old lady in the next chair was getting her weekly set, and her stylist was gossiping loud enough for everyone to hear. The guy looked up from his phone. Not really. We moved a lot when I was younger. I kept cutting. Yeah, I grew up here. Been here my whole life pretty much. He just nodded, scrolling on his phone. Then he did this thing with his shoulder, this little roll to crack his neck, and I nearly dropped the clippers. Miles did that exact move before every basketball game. You play any sports? My voice came out strangled. He looked suspicious now. Not really. Why? I tried to laugh it off, just making conversation, but I couldn't stop watching him. The way his right eye twitched involuntarily, the way he pressed his lips together when concentrating, even the way he bounced his left foot. It was all Miles. This is going to sound weird, I heard myself say, but did you grow up around lakes or anything? You just seem familiar. His whole body went rigid. No, actually I can't stand water. Lakes especially. His knuckles were white around his phone. The woman getting her hair set glanced over at us. Sorry, I didn't mean to hit a nerve. He put his phone down, agitated. Look, can we just finish the haircut? But something in how he said it, the way his voice caught on certain words, it was the final straw. One more thing. This is totally random, but I'm trying to remember something. Did you ever have any pets as a kid? Like before you were 10? He turned to look at me directly. Why are you asking me this stuff? I guided him back to face forward. You just remind me of someone I used to know. He was quiet for so long I thought I'd lost my chance. Then, still suspicious, I don't remember much from when I was little. I was adopted when I was 8. 8. The same age Miles was when he supposedly drowned. But there was this dog, he continued slowly. Sometimes I dream about it. Had a really weird name. Mushroom, I said quietly. The word just fell out of my mouth before I could stop it. He went completely rigid, his face draining of color. How the hell did you know that? His voice was barely a whisper. The scissors hung frozen in my hand. The old lady was definitely staring now. The whole shop felt like it had stopped breathing. You named him that because he was brown and wrinkly, I said. You kept him in the shed for 3 weeks. Fed him scraps from dinner when mom wasn't looking. He turned slowly in the chair to face me fully, and I saw it then. The way his eyebrow lifted. Exactly how Miles looked when he was confused. My throat closed up. I could lie. Say I grew up in the neighborhood and somehow knew. Let him walk out with his life intact. Let him keep whatever peace he'd found. But looking at him sitting there, my little brother who'd been alive all this time while I grieved for him for 20 years, I couldn't do it. I helped you hide him, I said, my voice breaking. I brought him food every morning before school. His hands were shaking now. That's not possible. Nobody knows about that dog. The words came out before I could stop them. Miles, I'm your sister. He stared at me for the longest moment of my life. Then he whispered, my parents told me I didn't have any family. Behind us, the old lady stared. Yeah, I said, my voice breaking. Mine told me you were dead.